Live. Okay, so this is October 10th. I'm back at Nine World Chronicles with Seba Tillman, and obviously we're back on Nine World Chronicles. Welcome, Seba T, back to the show. How's it going? August 10th. Yeah, what did I say? September 10th? October 10th? Wow, I'm really trying to go into the future. But I like the present right now. There's a lot of good stuff that's going on I wanted to get into. So we're going to talk a little bit like ancient culture, mythology, like we always do. So we're going to answer some questions about, if you have some questions about it going into it, I'll let you guys know. We'll talk a little bit about the Ogdoad cosmology. So I'm very, very excited about Ogdoad to learn a little bit more. But I wanted to talk about something that was current, as we kind of open the show. And I don't know how many people have been paying attention, but there's all this movement in Niger based around this pipeline that was being run that went into Europe. And there was a military coup that went down, and basically they're cutting this pipeline off, or standing in the way of this pipeline. This is a pipeline like Chevron and a bunch of companies have invested like $14 billion in, and without it, a lot of Europe is screwed. Like Europe gets like 2/3 of their energy comes from outside of the country, right? It comes from Africa, it comes from Russia, right? And so I was looking at it, and like there's a reason that the French are in there. So it's all this disruption because the energy prices in Europe would just skyrocket, right? Because there's no legitimate pipelines in there. Last year when I was earlier in the year when I was traveling, I was in Asia, and I was talking to a British guy, and he was saying that for him it was cheaper to travel than to pay his energy bill. It was like winter time there, right? So they have a significant problem. So it made me think back to like that part of the world, and the motivation for a lot of warfare, if I'm correct, is all about resources. Is that, am I correct about historically about Africa in general? What is typically like a strategy? Like, you know what I'm saying? How does that become like the strategy? Right. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. Hang on.
Couple times, but and they couldn't just get to bust their way in there, right? They had to get technology to come in there, right? And of course,
Right.
right, defeat them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so once you defeat them, right, then the whole idea is we come in here and take what we want. But initially, resource is the most important thing
Yeah.
in ancient Kemet, right? And we can go all the way back to ancient Kemet, but I'm just using the Zulus as an example.
Mm-hmm.
But resources is truly the key here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so right. So it talks about it all over. We've shared some of those basic stories, even going back to comic books, how
Mm-hmm.
African resources are very important, right?
Right.
Right to European powers,
Right.
right?
Right.
And that's kind of a no brainer there. But to me, it's all about. When I look at it from a different perspective, I see it from a very military type warfare perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because that happened during they call him Ramses the Third or some Outride's time, where the seafaring people wanted to come and take over.
Right.
Okay, that was the same thing. Okay, it was all about divide and conquer, but it was all about their resources.
Yeah. It's always been about resources.
It's all about resources.
Yeah.
And even back then, in the 20th dynasty or the third golden age, it was always about that. So if we could come over here and conquer them, well, we know based on past experiences of what they have.
Yeah.
So that's been happening, right, all the way back then. So to me, it's just a future tense of already what's been occurring from the past.
Right, right. And it goes pretty deep. Like this area here was a thriving kingdom, like, you know, years before it was Niger, right? Before, because Niger was basically the culmination of the French invasion, right? This was a French colony. So again, I just like to go over, this was a thriving kingdom, the Tuareg kingdom, right? One of the largest kingdoms in that region. And these were all, obviously, we know, dark-skinned Africans. And what happened was they had major trade there. So at that time, the trade was their copper resources. They were a major supplier of copper, which is why the French ultimately came in there and divided it. And this is, you know, this remained in place until like 1960, when they finally, you know, gained their freedom and became what is Niger. But when we're talking about African peoples like that, we're talking typically in an area like that, a lot of different tribes, a lot of different cultures in what are these nation states now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But that goes right back to what I just mentioned before, right?
Yeah.
All those are new areas. I say new areas mean not ancient areas.
Yeah, not
right?
ancient areas.
Those areas
yeah.
Right. But
yeah.
those areas were still, those areas was all colonized.
Yeah.
Wait is over.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. So that was really like the biggest thing, is like you lose a lot of culture just in that, and as we're seeing, like we'll see how the West reacts to it, because it's going to be a graph for resources. So that was just something I just wanted to point out. Like culturally, we still kind of see historically the same type of behaviors in the same region by the same countries.
What's interesting is it's an over and over and over thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it's not anything that's not it's not old. It's continuously to be new.
Yeah.
Right. So
yeah.
so meaning new, meaning technology. Right. You're going to constantly upgrade technology. It always is boiled down to the divide and conquer. It's always been boiled down to warfare. It's always been boiled down to that.
Yeah.
Because you got to be able to conquer these people in order to be able to take whatever over that's valuable. And see, you mentioned the French, Portuguese is there. Right?
Yeah.
These people came over there. Of course, we know about the Atlantic slave trade. Right? So it's all about that.
The Portuguese were really the first too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you got people. Yeah, you got people that are constantly came, and we're talking over and over again.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, they just came and they just got this. Well, we can go over and get that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So it was, that's kind of what that situation was like. Yeah.
Yeah, and they just kind of conspired against the people there. So.
Well, of course, there was a lot of, and again, they were fighting with each other based on those resources as well, right? Because, right? Because I want this part, no, I want that part.
Oh yeah,
you know?
oh yeah.
So they were fighting right based on that too. So of course.
Yeah, it was a lot of that going on. It was a lot going on. Yeah, I want to touch on that. Okay, something else I noticed. I seen this creature, and it made me think about you when I saw this creature here, because I thought you would like this. This is a manicore, right? And it struck me because it's kind of a hybrid creature, right? Where it's got like the scorpion tail, the lion body, right? And it comes, I believe this comes from like Greek and Roman mythology. Had you heard about this creature before?
It's a Greco-Roman type situation. I've known about some of them, but not this particular one. No, but some of them I have. And so, a lot of Greco-Roman. What the Greco-Roman people did is they have created these. I want to call them anthropomorphic type creatures, because both of them was a combination of both of them together. So they're talking about their mentality, and of course they're talking about how Greek culture has had a great inspiration and contribute to Roman type of way of life.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the Greeks were the big brothers of the Romans.
Right.
So the lion heads will be considered the Greeks. Okay. Where you have, of course, the Romans, and you have there. So you're looking at it from a perspective of a scorpion tail, which of course that was some of their areas of artwork as far as the Roman period. So uh, I wouldn't be surprised at that, although I have not seen this particular one.
Yeah.
But I've seen something similar to that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what it made me think of, for me, was the Griffin, was what I thought of when I saw it.
Yeah, griffins are okay. So griffins are again anthropomorphic creatures, right?
Right.
But again, you have all different types of griffins. So it all depends on what the period is, the time is. You're all talking about, right? You're talking about certain different ones. So in this particular drawing, it's kind of the same thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Although you don't see any wings or anything, right?
Yeah.
You see the anthropomorphic type of griffin type creature with it. Yeah. So yeah, it's there are ones who were inspired by others.
Yeah. Yeah.
To do this.
It's a fearsome looking creature, man. I'm gonna have to read up on it so we can power scale it.
Sure.
Yeah, we have to get up on this, man. So we definitely want to get up on that one.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I had some other stuff. Unless you're ready to get into something.
Go right ahead.
Okay, this is an image I just had seen going around, and I want you to take a look at this for me.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what I see here, obviously, okay. First of all, tell me what you think of the image, because what I see here is the Nasut, right, and I see Anpu.
Mm.
Okay, what was Anpu's role? Because we know that like he's associated as with the underworld, but what's really his role in the context? Since we know Wasar is actually like the ruler of the underworld.
Ampu's role was not necessarily dealing with the underworld. He was one who led and oversaw all the funeral processions. So he did everything that had to do with the funeral rites, to do with embalming the body. So it had to do with the sahu. Okay, he had to do with all of the preparations of the funeral.
Right.
Okay. So his goal was to make sure that everything was done precisely correct when you're doing, when you're preparing. Today we call them funerals, when you go to the funeral director and they do all of the, I want to make it this way. I want to make sure that you do this. Everything needs to be correct.
Right.
So Anpu would be the modern day funeral director.
Okay.
Okay. Before the funeral happens, he would be the ones that oversee all of these things to be done. But of course, you had that / the I want to say the mortician person. He would be the mortician person and a funeral person. So he was kind of both of those.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you would see him. You would see a lot of artifacts, or not artifacts, a lot of carvings or drawings or anything on the temples, right? If you go to Abu Simbel, if you go to some of the other places where you would see him actually doing that, preparing the cat,
right,
for the afterlife.
Okay.
Okay. So what's interesting is a lot of people associate him with the underworld.
Yeah.
But that's not his role.
That's not his role. Okay.
His role is His role is taking care of everything that has to do with So that's the reason why I really encourage African or Black people to get involved with funeral homes.
Okay.
Because this is what this is a part of our culture.
Right.
And this is who you would be an Anpu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You will make sure that the body is prepared, right, for the afterlife.
Right. Right.
So that's what you would do. So you would be a modern day Anpu.
Wow. I hadn't thought about that. Okay.
So yes, exactly. So for all of us Africans, get involved with the funeral home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get involved with that business.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's exactly who we were and what we did.
Right.
And that's exactly who Anpu is.
Right. Right. Well, I mean, because the interesting thing about it is, like, typically if you judge how advanced a civilization is, you start with how you prepare funerary. I mean, that's one of the early signs of civilizations, that you bury, or how how you handled the dead.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that when people they've unfortunately, and I'll be talking more about that in the future because I really want to get some of those myths, myth dispelled. Ampu was not the person dealing with that.
Right. Okay.
I feel like you know.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not him.
Yeah.
So a lot of people think that's him because they put him in movies and they say, "Oh, this is."
Okay. So that makes me think obviously of the Mummy movies because he was heavily featured in there. Okay. How much? Yeah. So everything that the Mummy movies showed you about Ampu or Anubis, as they call him, is wrong, right?
That is correct because he had nothing to do with war. You will not see him out there.
Yeah.
You know, doing. I mean, no. Okay.
Yeah. He had a whole army.
Right. No, man. If your body wasn't prepared, right, you ain't going nowhere. That's
right.
What, okay. Thank you. Yeah. That's exactly how he felt because people have associated one thing with another, and because of the movies.
Yeah.
Okay. It is a very strong, unfortunate distortion in reality.
Yeah, it's very powerful.
That's not what the funerary text talks about at all.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I wonder. So why are we saying that when it's not true? Okay, because it's not true. It has nothing to do with him. Okay, and his role in the Mummy or his role in what was that called? The Gods of Egypt.
Yeah.
None of the right. That's not even his area. Why are they putting him there? Because they're separating it and say, oh, well, we could probably take him from here and put him over there. No. If you understand the funerary text, he would be preparing the bodies before they even got, okay, to have their hearts weighed.
Yeah.
Before that. Okay? And then you got Tawit there, we call, was that Moon Knight?
Yeah.
Wrong area, right? I mean, okay, so you got all this stuff is based on a person interpreting another culture.
Right.
If someone else interprets your culture, they can turn it out to be any way they want to.
Yeah. Clearly, we see that.
Okay, but this is great. Okay, right. This is clearly wrong.
Yeah.
So again, as I mentioned before, African people should get back involved with our culture the way it's supposed to. And when we do this, right, because see, Anpu, just to say this before we move on, he is the nature of excellence.
The nature of excellence. Okay.
He's the nature of excellence. He makes sure that you're placed, your body, make sure the ib is placed. Make sure that everything is done specifically right to specifications to the point where it's nearly perfect.
Yeah.
Anpu is real serious about excellence.
Yeah. Okay.
When the funeral is done, when your body is wrapped to perfection.
Right.
Okay. There's no way we're not making a mistake here. Oops, did you do this wrong? Oops, did you put this? No, everything is done with excellence. A funeral is done. Yes, all this stuff is done like that. So this is what he has known to do. So African people, one of our qualities, is excellence. Okay, this is Anpu. Okay, to the core. Okay, so he doesn't do anything. He doesn't make any mistakes.
Okay,
this is exactly why I mentioned we need to do a little bit more understanding about who he is. Anpu is the nectar of this.
Okay. Well, okay, now, was this a jackal head that they characterized him with?
Right, everybody associates Anpu with a jackal head, but Whipwahet is also, a jackal. But remember, they did have wolves, like I mentioned, of the city of Lycopolis. I'll talk a little bit more about that later. To associate the dog and the wolf there, but they were very, very common. Right? So you can see him as a jackal head, but this looks more like a dog head or a wolf head. Because they associated them, one or the same, because of course jackals look a lot like these are dogs.
Right? Absolutely.
With a canine, right? So of course that's what you have. But yes, Anpu would be considered, from our perspective, a jackal.
Okay. What did the jackal characterize though? Because I know most of the other, It's usually the characterization of something.
People can associate them, of course, with the areas of when they're looking at it as a form of death and stuff like that. But that's not them.
Yeah.
Okay, so right, so when they're trained right, or when they are in a specific areas, there are protectors.
Right.
There
Okay.
are areas where they say, okay, you're around they consider them to be the dead. No, for us, it was people who've transitioned.
Right.
Okay, so a lot of it had to do with understanding how they were able to hunt or to eat, or to be able to be in packs or have babies. Okay, so nature was observed, but the jackal was something that wasn't to me, or what I understood about them, not necessarily a dirty animal.
Right. Okay.
They weren't necessarily dirty animal. Okay, so that's where they were associating them as. That's why you would see the head of jackal there around funerary areas.
Yes.
Around the bodies because we call it cemeteries.
Right.
For these are places to rest of those, right, who've transitioned.
Yeah.
And there you would see either owls or jackals there.
Okay. 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 That makes sense. Okay. How did you feel about Anpu personally, as a figure?
Anpu is awesome.
Yeah.
Anpu is awesome. Me, I love Anpu. So Anpu's awesome. Period. I want him right, overseeing me any day of the week, man, to make sure that my stuff is done right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I will make sure, right, because as I mentioned, we need to get back into the importance of funerary texts and funerary rites, because that's exactly who he was. When you see the other, of course, we wearing suits, right, today and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right, but the brother is dressed in a funerary area of Anpu. That would be excellent.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd rather see Anpu there, right? And people will be, scared of it, but of course we see, oh, this is beautiful because he's excellent. This brother's doing everything according to the funerary text.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, yeah, he's following the ritual. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, to the core. Okay, I didn't know that about his aspect, man. I'd always seen him kind of as a positive figure because I knew he was helping lead you down that path, getting you where you needed to be. So it was a help. He was a help aid. He was an aid. I don't know how heavy your heart is going to be when you get there, but I'm going to get you to where you need to be. Yeah.
But your body need to be prepared first.
Yeah. Okay. Which is the big part. Okay. So this image here I grabbed, it's from the Dundera temple, like Hathor's temple, and it's a zodiac, right? This is that zodiac that they have painted there. Is this the source of zodiac? Is zodiac also linked to African culture? Is that what if this is as old as I think it is?
Yeah, zodiac is connected to African culture because remember now, the calendar.
Yeah.
Connected to,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we didn't call it the zodiac, but yeah.
Okay.
Because for us, we understood the power of the constellation of the stars and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Very important to us. Yes.
So what was it called? If not the zodiac, what was it called?
So you're talking about it's referring to the. So there's different names.
Okay.
So for an example, we're talking about so if you're talking about the Ogdoad would be a great example of that.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's one of the names. That's the name I'm going to talk about today. Okay. Because we had different names based on understanding constellations and stuff. We understand the names of the calendars, but they had different names. And as I mentioned before, we'll talk more about that in the future. But one of those names was the Ogdoad name. Okay,
hang on. Let me grab the one that you got here. I'm going to drop that in the live now. Now, this has always been, to me, one of the more interesting parts of the ancient storytelling was the Ogdoad. And we had talked a little bit about him just last week. And you said you were going to expand on a little bit more.
So, the reason why I wanted to come and explain this today is because the first thing I want to change is that word. There is no term for there is no Ogdoad.
Okay.
So Ogdoad, okay, or Ogdoes, that's actually a Greek term. So let's go back last week. Yep, exactly. Let's go back last week. Remember what I said about the Enid?
Right.
So what is the name for the Enid again?
Pasejet.
The Pasejet.
Yeah.
That is the correct term, right? There is no Enid term.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, right. The term, right. So we utilize that term to understand, to mean 9.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. Today, right. So today we're talking about what the term Ogdoad is. Ogdoad is a Greek term, right, that has been translated. Now I'm going to help you to understand. Translated means from their perspective of what they want to call it.
Right.
Okay. But so the term actually is hemenu. That's the term for them.
Hemenu.
Hemenu.
Okay.
Correct. Hemenu is the term that is utilized, and I'll help you understand what this means. This term actually, hemenu, translate eightfold. That's what that means.
Okay. Okay.
Eightfold. So that actually comes from where? That comes from, they call it the city of Hermopolis or Hermopolis Magma. But the term Hermopolis actually means the city of Hermes.
Right.
Okay. So Hermopolis Magma means the city of the Hermes, or the city of the gods. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. This is what they're talking about. But there is no gods. Hermes, that would be literally translated the city of Tehuti.
Right. Right.
Okay. So Tehuti is the leader of the Hemenu.
Okay.
Okay. In this city, which the capital is Wenu.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So there is no Ogdoad. There's no term in the Bethel nature for Ogdoad. There's no term any of those places. So the reason why I know I wanted to use that term today, because of course it's very familiar to us, and we utilize that term a lot.
Yeah.
But as I just mentioned, it's nowhere in the Bethel nature. So we're just saying words that someone else has taught us to say.
Right.
So I want to start off by saying that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go into, the first thing I want to do is go into, to help us to understand things, and some methudature.
Okay.
Okay, so the first thing that we need to be able to, there we go. So the methudature word, see the word hamenu? That's what that word is. That's the word for Ogdoad. That's the actual correct term.
Okay. Okay.
Hamenu.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is one of the ways. Hemenu, as I mentioned earlier in our broadcast previously, if you see a quail bird there, what does that mean?
Oh man, I can't remember what the quail bird is.
Okay, very important. Very important. When you see a quail bird there, that word is always have to do with plurality, more than one.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So that term Hamanu literally means,
Yeah.
right? Okay, terms of, these are the terms of the natures.
Okay.
So you're referring to this as Hemenu, or they translated those words to gods, but there is no gods.
Right. Right.
The eightfold is the eightfold nature. Okay, is what we're describing. Okay.
Okay.
Noon, Noonet, and so on and so forth.
Yes, they're all paired.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. So there's nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
This comes from that city. So again, I'm just going to say what we need to kind of be taking a look at. So I'm going to be placing some things up in front here so we can understand what this looks like. So,
and I mean that's a huge difference in the term, because eightfold is really a term about power, right?
It is, and that's exactly what it is. But you don't see. But the reason why I wanted you to see that is because what we've been calling it has nothing to do actually what's been actually written. So we're looking at it. So why are they using the term Ogdoad?
Yeah.
Because they're trying to translate it to mean a thing where it's not even connected to that word.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because you're using
Very
what a
important to
version,
understand.
which would mean eight. Like they're symbolizing the term eight. I think is where right
Yes.
argument right. But obviously
Right.
it loses something meaning versus the eightfold is significant.
Very significant.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Okay.
so the word, so when you're spelling it, that would mean you say Khemenu or Y, or it's shortened Hemenu without the vowels.
Yeah. Okay.
Just the consonant words. Hemenu is actually eightfold. So again, Tahoot, or they call him Hermes, will be the leader of the eightfold.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. Eightfold. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very important.
Yeah. That is. That is.
Okay. Very important to know this. So why am I saying this? It's because we've been told that actually it's called the Ogdoad or the Ogdoad or is, meaning they're saying meaning the word eight. Okay, but Himenu is referring to eightfold city. Why? Because in that actual area where Tahoot Hermes is, they're talking about the natures. Okay, of course we're talking about the areas of where all of the life began, where we're talking about the oldest city. That's the center of ancient Kemet and the Nile. Yeah. In the place of Winnut, I showed you earlier, has to do with the rabbit with the long ears. Right. That's Winnut. Winnut is the capital city. Yeah. Okay. 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 So this Kemenu is what we're looking at. So I want you to see this right now. So forever. We know now that there is no Ogdoad. Yeah. There was never no Ogdoad. Yeah. Man, another week, another terminology I got to get rid of altogether. Right. The reason why I'm saying that is because they teach us one thing when it actually means another. Right. Right. Okay. So this right here was, of course, the closest we able to get as far as understanding what something would truly actually look like. Right. But the bottom line is that no, that this it's incorrect. And so, unfortunately, we've been taught words that actually does not help us to grow in our persons, because you're telling us things that's not actually true. Right. It's very deceptive. Very deceptive. So now we know, and I wanted to bring it out today. So we correct the word. We replaced that word Enid, and now we're going to replace that word Ogdoad. Yes. So we don't use that term anymore. Yeah. So that's what. Yes. So when I teach our class, or I'm talking about or my students rather, my first goal is to change their language, what the words that they use, and helping them to know a little bit more about what correct terms are from their classical language. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. So when I say classical language, I say classical means the best it has to offer. Your classical language is the best it has to give you. Yeah. Okay. That is what I'm doing today. So I wanted to just kind of put that there so we can kind of start replacing things, because now we know that what you told us was incorrect. Right. 100%. Yes. Dang, that's powerful, man. I feel so duped. Hey, brother, that's why I'm glad I'm on this channel to do what I do. Yeah. Because now we know that when you're finding out this information, and again, I've been known this, but I share a little bit at a time. Yeah, absolutely. And expound on it, because what I'm saying is that why you're telling us that the term Ogdoad is there. It's written all over the place, but it's not written in the Wiki nowhere. It's not anywhere there. Right. Right. They've changed it, right? So Homopolis Magna is exactly what the words that the Greeks used. Yeah. Okay. But the term Homopolis Magna is not even written there either. That's the term that they used when they came. This is what they saw. So for them, it's all about a description from their point of view. Right. Yeah. 100%. Okay. 100%. Okay. Okay. Diopolis Magma. Yeah. So Diopolis Magma literally means the great city of Zeus. Okay. But that's the city of what sect? Yeah. but they changed it to Diopolis Magna.
Yeah.
But there's no term for Diopolis. You know, the city is called the Wasat, and there's 4 different areas of the Wasat. So which area are you talking about? Okay, so you're talking about the northern part of Wasat. They're talking about the whole great city of that. Well, they just utilize that as Diopolis Magma because all they saw was these big, huge, giant statues.
Yeah. Okay.
And they say it's Diopolis Magma, great city of the gods.
Yeah.
No, but to us, it's the great city of Wasat. The city of Zeus.
Yeah.
Like they call it Hermopolis. Right? Hermes.
Yeah.
Hermes, city of the gods.
Yeah.
But there's no, but it's Tahuti.
Yeah, right.
Right. There you go.
Yeah, he was the man. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
So what is this? So where is this the city that we're looking at here?
This is part of the city, is correct. So it's part of the city now, part of the ruins. But again, you're looking at this right here was was in a show, in a movie, but they tried to, of course, recreate it to give you some type of what it would look like if you could actually see it again. But this is the road leading to the city I mentioned before. This is going to, of course, the Temple of Tahuti.
Yes.
Or they call it. Remember what I said before? The Kemenu.
Yeah.
This is the road to the Kemenu. Okay. This is what you're looking at. So of course you can see what they remember they call it. I guess you got the great pillars there.
Yeah.
That's as I mentioned before. And they're saying, okay, and so all these things have to do with how descriptive something is. And so, of course, I looked at it and I said, okay, this is kind of what we're looking at. It's going right towards the great temple, okay? But again, Kemenu.
That's amazing, man. I got to give it to you. I learned, like I said, it is a class. He is teaching us right now, right? Every week he's and I've been kind of reading up on this and doing my research for years now, and every week we talk. I get something that's introduced, something that's new, something that's kind of changing what we call something or how we see something, which I think is extremely important.
Well, yeah, because what you want to do is start to change it, because now we know that when you're telling me, again, as I mentioned earlier, about a certain terminology, as I just shared with you, the terminology is completely 2 different things.
Right.
Right? It's completely 2 different things. When you hear the word Ogdoad, it doesn't. That's not the terminology you give me when you say Ogdoad.
Right. Yeah, it's different. Yeah.
It's completely different, right?
Yeah.
So you're not even, and I'm like, well, why are they saying that when, of course, it's not that. It's something that's completely different. So, yeah, we want to go to the Metunetchi. The Metunetchi is going to teach us.
Yeah. That's the guide right there. Yeah, that'll be. That's the master guide, not the interpreter.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
This, of course, as you can see, okay, this is the hall going into the city of Wasat. They call this the great Diopolis Magna when they saw it.
Okay.
But this is the road going down the temple when you're looking at, they call it the city of peace. Us, we call it the great city of Wasat. Why they call it the great city of Zeus? Because, again, it's the great temple of Amen.
Yes. And they associated Amen as Zeus.
That's correct.
Okay.
You see, so this will be the home place of Amen.
Yeah.
The Ipit Asut place of Amen.
Okay.
So you got a couple of areas that I mentioned. The Wasat, you got the Mount Wasat. You got these different areas, but we are talking about the great temple. The halls and everything was done to immaculate, right? You see how excellence was perfect, right? When you're walking down with a stoop, we walk down the great hall with, of course, the Hepnetcher or the priests. Right.
That, I mean, this is amazing architecture too.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So again, it's always right. We honor our ancestors, right, by establishing or trying to continue to complete their incomplete works.
Right.
Okay, so changing that language.
Yeah, changes the language.
Seeing the seeing the writings, right? Seeing all that.
Yeah.
So now we know better. When we know better, we do better.
Yeah, absolutely. That's beautiful, man. That's a real incredible thing there. Let's see what else you got here.
that's why I wanted to point out to you. I said, oh, I really got to work on this one today.
Yeah, most definitely. No, that's pretty amazing stuff. I mean, it's funny. Like history has really altered. You know, a lot of what we know is how the people thought. You know what I mean, and the naming is so significant. How the names of the figures get changed or altered, or their interpretations or meanings are slightly altered or changed, has big effects as you go down the road. Just like we saw, I still think it was a travesty what they did to my man Anubis in the movies, man. They really showed him as being a wild dude.
Well, unfortunately, you know, this is another area of the city, but Anpu was a professional.
Yeah.
Okay, a professional. I mean, he was immaculate.
Yeah.
Okay, and in his processions, in the funeral, right. I mean, from the child all the way up to the adult. He did that with Hatshepsut Amun.
Yeah.
He did that with Ursa Ma'afras and Tepirat. He did that, right, with Ben Keparat to Hukimus. Okay? These things were immaculate. It was perfect.
Yeah.
Okay? How can, I mean, even today, the Egyptologists are trying to understand how well-preserved bodies are after thousands of years.
Right. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
Okay? This is because it was done to perfection.
Yeah.
Okay? This is exactly what our attitude should be like.
Yeah.
Okay? Just like the ancestors should be. This is another area, as I mentioned before, of the Great Tahoot, or of course we know it as, of course, the Kemenu. Okay? This is the place where we, you know, of course, they get the term Ogdoad from. But again, this is an area or the remainings of.
Okay.
Okay. So, as we can see, it's pretty massive.
Yeah.
Okay. And so we're looking at this, and you see the well-preserved areas. Of course, they if you go down to some of the areas that I showed you from some of the maintenance, they still have some nature on there. But of course, people love this area.
Right.
Okay. Because remember, this is the place of Tahuti.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
The place of knowledge. This is okay. Yeah. So people love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only second to that would be Ibn Asud, the place of Amen.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
We want knowledge and we want Amen. So
right.
we want both of those.
Right. The knowledge and the power.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah. It's profound the effect that this mythology has had beyond the borders of Africa. Right, like how it influenced the Greek system, and the Greek system is always seen as the predecessor for Western civilization, where we live now, right? And a lot of times when they use those symbols, they're using symbols that the Greeks were telling them, like the obelisk, where we know where that comes from, right? So there's so many of those things in the culture that are reflected in, you know, outside of those walls.
It's called the Tekken.
The Tekken, yeah, that's right.
The Tekken.
Yeah.
Right. So again, we don't use those words. That's not. Yeah, there's no term for. Okay.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Correcting that language, man, helps us to understand what something is and what something is not.
Yeah. That's real right there, man. I appreciate that. Thank you for bringing that. Thank you.
You're
for
welcome.
bringing that. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm really. Let me see if I can find hopefully a good recreation of what it may look like. Hopefully that.
Oh man, this is cold right here. Okay.
Okay.
1 sec. Oops. Come on. There we go. So this is the city here.
That's correct. This is the city. This is, of course, the place of the again, the Hemenu, the Eightfold, and we're looking at different areas of the city. We can see the entrance area. You looking at it from an overview perspective, right?
Yeah.
So this shows you how massive it was and how big it was and how long it was.
Yeah.
It shows you there's different areas, right? So remember, I said eightfolds. When you talk about eightfold, what are we discussing, right? We're talking all about 8 metrics.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. So you walk into the temple, that's gonna be one of the first things that you see. Okay. Yeah. So That's going to be like, okay, let's go into the temple. So you go to the place of knowledge. Remember, again, we're talking about schooling here.
Right.
Okay? And you're going to learn. We're going to talk to me about how the earth began, how the life began. Talk to me about noon and new net.
Right.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Talk to me, right? Talk to me, Amen and Amun. Talk to me. Okay, this is where the learning is.
Right. Okay.
The teaching is.
Yeah.
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 Okay. This is what happens. This is what. This is the place where they go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Universities, we call them
Uh-huh.
today.
Yeah. The earliest ones.
That's correct.
Yeah.
But so very important, very powerful.
Yeah, that is. That is. Like I said, you add it to the vocabulary today. That's always a good thing. It's always something nice to walk away with.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, this is okay. Now you got something really interesting. Now you really piqued my interest here. Let me pull this one up. This is some very interesting artwork I'm seeing. This is a sculpture, right? Okay. Okay. Okay.
So what are we looking at?
Yeah. What are we seeing here?
We are looking at, again,
the
Hemenu. That's led by Jehuti.
Yeah. Okay. So this is Jehuti at the top of the throne.
That's correct.
Oh man, that's cool. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. This is what needs to be shown.
Yeah.
So now we understand. We are looking at exactly when I say eightfold. We were talking about how it is important to see it now, a vision of it, picture of it. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
The great Harut is sitting there too.
Yeah.
Okay. Seated there.
Yeah.
Seated the Jehuti right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Wearing the double crown. You see that?
Yeah. I see that.
Okay. Yeah. And so that's so, but now we can visualize it now because now we can see it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that is cool. That's amazing there. I'd never seen this image. Let me see if I can pull up my arrow here. I want to see if I can point something out. Oops. Come on, stay there. Okay, wait a minute. Let me pull this back. Okay, so you're saying, let me bring this one up. Come on. I'm trying to get this arrow up top. Okay, so what I'm seeing is the Nasut is here. Is that what you're saying? Is Heru here? Kind of in this middle? Right there. Okay. So the larger one, or in the larger one, obviously, right, is Tahuti.
Correct.
And then as we see these kind of snake forms here, okay, these are the Hemenu.
Yes.
Okay.
So all the Hemenus is new and new net.
Yes.
Okay. Hehu, right? Right? Keku and Kekuit.
Yes.
Okay, you see these names. Okay, so these is all of the eight. You're looking at the eightfold right there. As you're going down the list, you're seeing everybody.
Yeah, the eightfold power. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
But this stuff, see, okay, so the reason why I wanted to stress this and this particular image is because now we can kind of see that everybody is connected to the great knowledge, to the great Tahuti. Everybody's connected to him. As we can see, everybody's together.
Yeah.
Okay. Just like the image we had earlier, but the only difference is, right, Tahut wasn't there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But now you see them together with him there.
Wow. Wow. That is amazing imagery right there, man. I really have to say it. Like, that just adds so many layers to it. And making that connection, and I always go back to associating them as the origins, as the progenitor, like how everything gets started.
And that's exactly right.
Yeah,
and so when you're looking at it from a perspective like that, it kind of puts things in perspective. It brings it together.
Yeah, it definitely did. Definitely did.
Right. So that's kind of what I wanted to share.
Yeah.
And I'm a person, man, of imagery because to me, imagery shows, even if it's in pieces, how we can put things together as a puzzle.
Yeah.
Right?
Picturing,
right, and explaining, because now we know.
Yeah.
Well, nobody really ever showed us this.
Yeah.
Well, of course not. Right? Because now we have it. Now we understand. If you ever go to Kemet, now we understand.
Yeah.
What Kemenu is.
Yeah, what you're looking at there. Yeah, that's powerful right there. Yeah, that was definitely a master class right there, man. I gotta say it. Yeah, that was incredible there. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm
okay.
glad. Yeah, because I think that's kind of. Yeah, I mean, I really wanted to share that today.
Yeah. No. I'm glad that you did. I'm glad you did. Yeah, that was really powerful. Let me pull something up here, since we can get to the last part of it.
Do you want me to spell? You want me to spell it for you? You got the words out,
right? Himanu, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So something me and you had been talking about the other day that we were just still going on, man. Because
oh no, man.
I know, but we had.
I'll let that one alone, brother. I'll let that one alone.
I wanted to get some feedback from the audience because okay, here's what I'm proposing. Okay. For your level 8, okay, I'm saying that if somebody can alter reality, they get anybody, okay? If it's just a single word. And because I'm saying 8's right here, the next top one is up there with Montu, right? So I gotta have 9, 8. I can't put Godzilla so close to Amon.
Okay. I you know what? Like I said, I agree, man. Like I said, I agree.
Okay.
I didn't want to. I don't really have a whole lot to say about that. I thought about it and I said, even though he's the king of the monsters, even though they whooped everybody, but he's the number 7. Okay, he didn't whoop everybody. He's number 7.
Okay, all right. Well, okay, I gotta get your perspective on two figures. Okay, that I get on it because this is going to be the first time I power scale a Jedi. So I'm trying to figure out where do you think Jedis are going to come in at overall on the list, like your average run-of-the-mill Jedi.
It all depends, but if you're looking at an average Jedi, I would put them at probably a 3.
That's exactly where I was at. That's exactly where I was at. Okay.
Yeah.
It is Ahsoka got enough that she goes to another level?
I don't think so, only because it all depends. If she's who is she fighting? So if she come up against somebody like Mace Windu, that might be a challenge. She has, in other shows fought Darth Vader, but Darth Vader he's at a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would have to say for her, if I could really push it, she could possibly maybe touch a 4.
Mm-hmm.
But I would really probably have her at a 3.
Yeah. Okay. And I was trying to get that good baseline because we're going to start, obviously start introducing some of the Jedis in there, and some of their powers are really, really in line. Like with a lot of these Jedis, you get long range attacks if you're a Jedi, right? You have telekinesis. Okay. But that's a pretty common Jedi power, right? You probably would have telekinesis.
Well, here's the thing. In the Jedi universe, all Jedis are not trained the same.
Okay.
So if you are a temple guard, you're not trained the same as a guardian.
Right. Okay. Man, that's so much stuff. Okay, I hadn't even thought about really getting into them. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So the power scales and stuff like that is completely different with a Jedi because everybody thinks that a Jedi has telekinesis, but they don't.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it all depends on what your purpose is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're looking at Star Wars and we see, a guardian like the one with a blue or a green lightsaber.
Yeah.
We think more of them.
Yeah.
But when you go to the temple and stuff, you see temple guards. You're not seeing any of them, right? Nobody's ever really thought about them,
right?
But their power is on a whole other. It's at a different level. But they have, of course, Jedi strength.
Yeah.
But they're not telekinesis anything.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it all depends on what type of Jedi you're talking about because they're different ones.
Right. Yeah. You're right. Okay. Well, I think we got a good entry point with like the baseline Jedi being at a 3. I think that's where I was thinking about operating.
Yep, exactly.
So I'll probably do the official power scale on Osaka, probably later today. Another cat I wanted to ask you about, because this is kind of a guy who's going to challenge a lot of the scaling too, is this dude right here, man.
Oh well, yeah, he's pretty powerful.
Yeah. Okay. So we got Galactus, and we know about Galactus's power, like the World Devourer, like, and he's the remnant. He's from a previous like existence, right? Yeah. So he's almost like was with the creation of the universe, and I'm gonna say, okay, is he at that level? Yeah, obviously we're translating the comic book to mythology, but in those terms, is he at that level of like a Amon, like a 9, like at the tippy top, or are we gonna say he's like an 8?
Yeah, he would have to be an 8 with, because remember now, if you're not there creating the universe, man. That's a whole nother level.
Yeah, he was created along with the universe.
Right.
Yeah.
So we would have to put him at an 8.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah, because you're not there with the sister Amunet to take care of business.
Right. Right.
You weren't there with with Surrent was handling with her.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
You ain't there, right? So I would have to put him there with an 8.
Okay.
That's kind of where I see. But he's pretty powerful. He's up there, man. But I think he's an 8.
Yeah, he's real up there. He's got cosmic awareness. He's in tune. So he's on a whole nother level of power. Yeah. So I definitely want to get in there. So you can kind of see how I've been kind of working to get the universe together. Kind of how do we want to start ranking Jedis? How do we want to rank Galactus? So anyway, I just wanted to add those in there because I got a lot more of them coming out, man. The good thing is not everybody agrees with the ranking, so it makes some really good conversation. So if you have something wrong with the rankings, and let it be known in the comments. This is how we're going to improve, right? The verses, right? If we're missing something slacking, right? That's how we'll clean it up.
Well, you're gonna have to probably explain why the numbers are where they are.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Right. So for an example, why are people at a 3?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Why are people at a right? Because that kind of puts things into perspective a little bit.
Right.
So you're saying why? So like we just talked about why Galactus should be at an 8.
Yeah.
Why? Because most of people in his area of range would be at 8.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So why are we ranking for Ty? See.
Okay.
Ranking,
yeah. Well.
See,
yeah.
So you're talking right. You're up there.
Yeah.
But it's all about explaining the why.
Yeah.
Why are people at a 1s and 2s and 3s? Why are people at a 5 and 6 and 7?
Yeah.
Why are people at these areas? Because it kind of puts things into like, yeah, you know what? You're good, but you're probably a 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Daredevil, I'm sorry, but you're probably right. A 1.
Yeah.
Or a 2.
A 2.
Right.
Yeah.
So it all depends. But remember, Daredevil's got a superpower, right? Because of the juice, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Right? But Ninja Turtles would have, to put them at a little lower, right? Because we like the Ninja Turtles, but y'all ain't gonna be good. Right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's all about finding out why people's powers are generally. You won't be very specific, but just a general term.
Yeah.
To know why these power scales are there, because it kind of puts things in perspective of why a person should be ranked a 4 or a 5.
Right. Yeah, because it's a wide scale we're working with too. Like I always kind of enter saying, okay, my human is the baseline 1. Like that's the baseline, right? Right. Mm-hmm. The top of it is like the Amon. So we're trying to fill in all the gaps, right? By saying, okay, if you're a regular human, you got to be 1. But when you step up to some level of superpowers, now I can consider you a 2. And then from a 2, like your Captain America, your Black Widow, someone who's got more power than like your Wolverine sets your 3. You know what I'm saying? Your Spider-Man starts to set your 3. Like Batman has a level of intelligence and training that sets him above those guys there. When you start adding in the tech and all that stuff too. So there's a lot of levels to that. And some guys can get taken out by somebody, man. That's the whole thing. Like it depends on what the power set is. It's still gonna come down to them. We're gonna power scale them, but the versus still comes down to, man, you could still get somebody. Like I was saying, you don't want it with Jason Voorhees.
No, you don't want to exactly. But see, you got to put it as again explaining it, right?
Yeah.
Number one. So
Yeah.
why would a person with a level of intelligence would be a 5?
Right.
So right, what would it take me to be at a level 2? What would it take me to be at a level 4?
Yeah.
What would it take me to be at a level 6? Right?
Yeah.
So you have to be in a certain category,
Yeah.
right? Knowledge based, tech based,
Yeah.
skill based,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, right. So it's all about that, right? Because it all depends. Because it will depend on what type of knowledge you have.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So a Black Widow would first. What's her name? Poison Ivy.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So we're talking about a level of intelligence. So is Poison Ivy smarter and has a higher intelligence than Black Widow?
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's all about the levels of intelligence, where a person is.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna make a big difference.
If you got thank you. So you see, it all depends, but you have to kind of explain.
Yeah.
What you're talking about, because it has to be at you have to be at a certain level.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's right. So what are your thoughts about that?
No, that's good. I love that. We're just adding.
Yeah,
we're just adding layers to it, like getting more specific, right? So it'll be easier to understand.
Have you had anybody disagreeing on the comments about the power scale since you put them up there?
All the Superman fans.
All the Superman fans agree or disagree?
They disagree.
They do.
Yeah, I've made him a 7.
Oh.
But see, Galactus is an 8. Like, he has to be. If Galactus is an 8, there's no way Superman is also an 8.
I'll explain that difference.
Well, okay, my thing is, like I said, I've stuck to to get to 8 to me, you're going to have either some type of cosmic awareness, right? The ability to alter reality, or, the ability to control time. So that's why I can say, like, look, and I don't think he got there, but like the Wishmaster, you can alter reality around you. Scarlet Witch can alter reality. So if they simply say it ain't no more of this, it's gone, right? If the Wishmaster, and I don't know, the Wishmaster may not be as powerful, but to say, okay, the sun is now emitting red light. If they can, Scarlet Witch could do that. Your main power source is gone. So that's where I'm like, that's my line, because above that, you get into like, if you control time, if you control reality, if you control cosmic, the next level is the creator, like the life creator. We say Amon. That's the only thing that's above them. So that's what I'm trying to hold it. Whereas like Kal-El, you a bad dude, man. You up there with Black Adam, right? You a 7. Black Adam, you a 7, right? As well. You up there. I put the Marvel Thor, you up there, but you guys aren't that next level of, having that intuitiveness with the cosmos. Okay,
so what about Dr. Fate and of course Doctor Strange?
Oh man. See? I mean, okay, but it's okay, maybe because you do have the ability to do those things.
Yeah,
you do have the ability to do those things. So if you can do those things, then I
see,
yeah.
So you gotta explain that now.
Yeah.
See now, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So see, these are examples of that.
Yeah.
So is Dr. Fate up there with Wishmaster? Is he up there with Scarlet Witch? Is he up? See, because Dr. Fate is a powerful dude.
Dr. Fate is a powerful dude. Like he probably is up there with them.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, so
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I mean, because you can see, like it becomes really, really tenuous right in there. It becomes really, really hard. Like that's gonna be like the cutting ground right there, Because Gandalf is another powerful wizard, but you're not that powerful. Gandalf is not where Dr. Fate is.
No, but I would have to say, what's the other one's name?
Saruman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's up there.
You think he's up there?
I think he's up there, man. Okay. He's pretty powerful.
Man. Yeah. That's another debate right there. Yeah. Yeah.
You see, so you got these. Okay, so if Superman is that's a hard one, man.
It's a hard one. Look, it's no disrespect intended, man. But I can't put I'm just saying, like that's where that line comes in. Is you closer to the Hulk than you are to, you know, a world alterer. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're Superman, you're still closer to him. You know, so that's how I'm gonna break it out, man.
Okay. Well, again, I've been following.
Yeah.
Laughing my head off too, you know.
Yeah.
Laughing my head off too. I said, oh man, you know, here we go. So yeah, well, yeah, and that Superman, I saw that.
Yeah.
You know, so it's okay.
Yeah. Look, I got on my Black Adam tee. He's going right there too, man.
Well,
I'm not putting Black Adam's right there.
Well, Black Adam, man, is a 7, but technically, man, because he's got all the powers of the Nectars, man, he should really. I mean,
like even within like the category, there's got to be a little bit of hierarchy. And like I said, there's a 7. I think like the top of each category. I don't know the alpha. Maybe it's the alpha is the 7A, right? Like I was saying, where Adam's gonna be a 7A because you got all that knowledge too. Infinite knowledge.
Well, yeah, but he can actually alter reality, man, because of magic.
Because of what?
Of magic.
Oh, man.
See?
Yeah.
Black Adam, man, can alter reality, man, because of magic. See, he's got the power of that, man. See, Tahuti, man. See, all basis of knowledge, man, is Tahuti, man.
Yeah.
This is Black. I'm sorry. This is.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. He's got this power, man, where, remember, he's unlimited, man. He's got the power to alter realities, man, just based on that, man. That's how he's able to defeat Superman.
Yeah. You're right.
And Shazam, I mean, right? Because he's really up there, man. So you know.
But see, I'll be trying to tell cats that all day long that Superman can't beat him all day long, man.
Oh no, they don't say that.
Yes, they do, man.
Oh.
Yes, they do. I'm like, he cannot beat Black Adam.
No, it's never happening.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, you just have to tell somebody. Black Adam has been around, man, for 5,000 years.
That's what I be telling them, man. That's what I be telling them.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's clear. I mean, it's clear, right, that if it wasn't for him coming to Earth from Krypton, okay, he would have been defeated. Black Adam could go to Krypton and smash everybody.
Yeah, I'll smash your whole planet.
Right? Smash the whole planet, man. Right?
Yeah.
He's not limited, man.
Yeah, he's not limited. Yeah, he ain't worry about what sun he what star he under.
And people say, people still. They really say that Superman can beat Black Adam.
Yeah, they do. I be battling fools all day on that one, man. All day long.
Wow.
All day long.
Well, yeah, okay, well, this is good, man. I really appreciate it.
All right, well, we did some good business today, man. Obviously, we got to talk extensively about Ampu, extensively replacing the word, the him and new, replacing Ogdoad. So we really got into that. What I also picked up was also Jehuti's role with them as the leader of that. The name of the ancient city. So a lot of good mythology about that, even written down if you guys want to check that out. We introduced some other mythology with the Manicore, and then we got some hardcore profiling done for the power scale. So I feel really good about what we got accomplished in our little hour plus today.
Well, yeah, man, it's always about the master class.
Yeah. So if you guys have any questions, I'm sure you have some comments for us, especially on the power scale and the verses. But any question, any topics you want us to follow up on, definitely just hit us up and let us know. We'd love to kind of engage with the audience more. CBT, you got any more lessons? Anything you want to, what you're gonna tease or talk about next week?
I probably want to get into Ampu maybe a little bit.
Okay, yeah, we could definitely do that. Yeah, we could definitely do that.
Exactly. So that's my whole. Yeah, to kind of really bring him up so we can, give him some light.
Okay, right on. I love that. Okay.
Okay.
All right, most definitely. Well, always a pleasure being here with you, CBT, man. Definitely appreciate the lessons. You see, I got my notes here as I'm learning stuff too, like everybody else. But I will get us locked off here. I'll talk to you later on. Thank you again for everybody who stopped in.